Alpha of Hype Squad is over, so we're going to talk about the good and not so good aspects of it. For those who don't know, Hype Squad is a new close combat game that offers a lot of features that can spice up the battle royale genre and gaming in general. Even though this game's main focus is battle royale, it does have other game modes that aren't quite battle royale, such as conquest and a point-based game mode that we weren't able to play, but may be similar to a respawnable game mode like Team Deathmatch or Domination. Hopefully we'll be able to mess around with this game mode in the next playtest. Nonetheless, I was able to play in the week-long alpha to dive deep into the game's features and mechanics with the help of players who played the game previously during the pre-alpha test all the way back in February. And the first thing we're going to talk about are the weapons. And there's a lot of them. So much so that I had to stand up to fit them all on this screen. And there will be more to come, surely. Each weapon comes with unique and creative abilities and ultimates that make you feel overpowered. You have a katana called a Lacio Blade that has anime-styled abilities that make your character seem like an expert sword wielder. A disc-throwing projectile weapon called Willies that have insane mobility, a shotgun that packs a powerful punch, a spear that can heal and support your teammates, a steampunk-like gauntlet that you can pimp slap your enemies with and call down an octagon barrier where you can throw down with your opponents UFC style and not worry about third parties for a couple of seconds. You can also float like a butterfly and sting like a bee with the knucklers. And let's not forget about the Grim Reaper style weapon called a Harvester that has lifesteal with certain abilities. The amount of things you can do in this game is absolutely insane, and I haven't seen this much creativity in other PvP multiplayer games that have recently came out. It's truly a blast. But if I have to be honest with you, in solos, some weapons are definitely better than others. However, in trios, each weapon can have its time to shine with the game's chaotic nature. Another great part about Hype Squad's gameplay is that you can upgrade these weapons by just finding the same type to boost its rarity. Similar to Hyperscape. I really wish more BRs did this. There's also a shared storage where you can place other items, consumables, and weapons for your teammates to get, which is great. So if you find a Hyper Axe, instead of your teammate walking over to get it, they just need to press the tab button and drag it in their weapon slot. The balancing with each of these weapons is pretty okay. However, issues start to arise when you start adding these stat buffs called augments to your kit. These stat boosters can increase various things from damage and HP. You can only get them at vending machines or a merchant that roams the map with legendary versions. His name is Magpie. The game during alpha was basically balanced around them. The only way to buy these are with high points, which can be attained by eliminating people or capturing bases. At first, it's fun to mess around with these to deal out massive damage, but there may be moments where you did not have enough time to get your ideal loadout. So when you run into people with their ideal stat buffs, it becomes quite the uphill challenge. Especially since you can stack the same types of buffs to a point where one skill attack can do about 1000 damage with certain weapons. I'm not too worried about this since the game is still in the alpha and the devs can easily fix these issues. They can limit how much you can stack, let you buy the buffs at captured bases, or limit how effective each one is. However, there is one thing that worries me with the gameplay though, and that's how reliant movement is to the weapons you use. There's no toggle sprint, but a walking phase that quickly escalates to a sprint. The devs have stated that they are not in favor of adding a toggle for sprinting, which makes me wonder why even have a walking phase. Just let people sprint by default without one if that's the case. I would also like to see other movement that all characters have, like sliding and wall running. Maybe an iframe dodge too, because a lot of the times the engagements feel like a race to whoever can smash their skill cooldowns the fastest with the strongest buffs. This is especially true towards the end game, which can really dumb down the gameplay and skill expressions. Blocking has been suggested by the community too, which can work depending on how it's implemented. All I ask for is no parrying. Parrying in Naraka Bladepoint has proven to be very ping-based, which can make the feature feel extremely inconsistent and frustrating at times. The map for Hype Squad is quite amazing as well. When I first saw gameplay, I was scared it was going to be a very vertical-based game where a lot of fights would take place in the air or on rooftops, like in other BRs such as Hyperscape and Bloodhunt, which tend to lead to more third parties in my opinion. I'm glad to say that I was very wrong about this. There are a lot of diverse, memorable, and interactable locations on this map. No place truly feels the same. You can change base locations with a press of a button, zipline to ideal places, bounce pad up to high grounds, launch yourself to unique angles, block doorways with abilities, There's truly no cons I can give HypeSquad's map without nitpicking small details. It truly just feels great. 10 out of 10. The characters are another aspect of the game that a lot of tender loving care was given to. They all have their own backstories, outfits, and voice lines. All of them look great too, in my opinion. My only gripe is that these characters are purely cosmetic, meaning they do not have passives or abilities that alter the gameplay, and the devs have stated that they do not plan to change this, which is fair, but I think at least giving each character a starting weapon would be nice, especially since weapons are RNG and are the only way to have mobility in the game. So in turn, you can quickly get griefed in the beginning of the game if you cannot find the ideal weapon. So this could be addressed if each character had their own starting weapons, which might be a thing to happen since there are 12 characters, 6 of which are shadowed out, and 13 unique weapons already in the game. That's almost a one-to-one fit already. Lastly, I didn't encounter any real game-breaking bugs, which bodes well because this game is just in an alpha version. Some people did report their game crashing, but that typically only happened after they got eliminated. Also, the amount of reported bugs in the Discord was very low as well. For an alpha, this game ran pretty well, a lot better than the finished products of some other games I played in the past too. It would have been nice if they add 120 FPS limit instead of just giving us 30, 60, and unlimited as an option. Overall, HypeSquad has a lot of potential to be the next best thing. It's up to the developers to take all the feedback given out to players and improve the game for the next test. If you played this game, let me know how you felt about it in the comment section. What are some things you would like change, or do you think it's perfect as is? I can't wait to try out this game in the next playtest, but till then, stay safe and I'll see you next time.